I've praised Ford's strategy in spite of the fact that their EV sales have just tanked this year, been disastrous. They just lost $722 million on their EV division. However, they are going in the right direction, and I said why that is in a recent video. In fact, a couple of recent videos, I explained why Ford's strategy is better than the strategy of General Motors, infinitely better than the strategy of Volkswagen and every other legacy automaker currently selling cars. Well, now it seems Elon Musk agrees. In fact, he's even more positive in his praise of Ford than I have been, which is fascinating. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, big thank you to our Patreon supporters. Couldn't be here without you. So if you want to support the channel, I'll put a link in the description to our Patreon page. Elon Musk has a name for doing something. He says, yeah, good chance they're going to go bankrupt. It's very hard to compete. No automaker has succeeded in the last 50 years in America. He's said this sort of thing a few times, and he's right. He knows his facts. He remembers his facts far better than I do, or probably far better than 99% of the population do. I don't know how the guy remembers so much when he sleeps so little. It's truly uncanny. But he's given Ford more praise than any other car company in the history of Elon Musk, the person. Seriously, this is the most effusive comment I've ever heard Elon Musk make about anyone or anything, possibly, except for Tesla stuff and his own. Speaking outside the realm of Elon Musk and his companies, he was incredibly positive. And this comes at a time when Ford is making enormous losses. They're going to lose approximately, they say $3 billion this year on their EV division, but I would say it'd be closer to $4 to $5 billion. And I don't see that as a loss personally. Now, technically, yes, they are making a loss of around $20,000 per car, possibly a bit more than that, maybe about 22,000 if you kind of work it all out. But that's not really the point. And that's what Elon Musk was saying as well. Now, the interesting thing is here that recently, well, not so recently, say 6 months ago, Jim Farley has praised Tesla on numerous occasions, but he's been feeling the heat lately, and he's taken to critiquing Tesla in a few different ways, saying negative things about them, which I'm sure Elon saw them. I'm sure he saw the tweets. I'm sure he internalized that information. Most people do take things personally. Personally, I started a company with some other people, and whenever people would criticize that company, I would feel either sad or angry, or I'd think, or embarrassed, or I'd have a very emotional reaction to that. And I found it very hard to control that, even after getting lots of praise, lots of criticism, lots of both. Same thing for a YouTube channel. It is difficult to accept that kind of criticism. And sometimes you have to really sit back and think, are they right? Is their criticism right? Often it's not. Often it's just people just speaking emotionally. They just want to have a go at you because you're not in a position to see them face to face. Rarely will they do this face to face. But, it's usually online. It's easy to type something on a keyboard and say something negative and, you feel negative, so you want to pass on that negativity. It's easy to do that. And I do have to say, I respect the fact that Elon ignored these comments from Jim Farley, the negative comments, and he's made quite a few of them about Tesla recently. He ignored them, and he simply focused on the positives. Now, he doesn't always do that. It's hard to do that. As a human being, it's easy to criticize Elon Musk. It's easy to criticize, who else do we criticize? LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, famous celebrities. We do it. It's very common. It's part of our society. It's part of our, for some reason, it's become part of the mesh, the fabric of Western society, which I think is a very toxic problem. I think we need to move away from this criticism, constant critiques of people, and they are real people. They really feel this. Anyway, getting back to my point, Musk replied to a tweet recently when Ford was critiqued. Ford was being, Jim Farley as well, probably felt this personally. He is the CEO. And he replied to a tweet by Real Meat Kevin, which compared Ford's net EV income and projected net EV income to Tesla's net margin. Obviously, this is in huge favor of Tesla. And I can see why Tesla fans would tweet this kind of stuff. Why they would tweet in support of Tesla, saying, hey, these are what Tesla's numbers are versus Ford's EV numbers. The reason people are tweeting this kind of thing is because the media is doing the opposite. The media, rather than focusing on the overall health of a company, right? The reality is here, Ford, very few of their sales right now are actually EVs. In fact, less than 5%. That's not really a good number. The media just seems to ignore that information, and it focuses on the here and now, the today. how much profit did this company make in this quarter? Right? Not on where they're going to be in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the track. And to me, that is what's important. So I can see why Tesla fans are saying, hang on a minute, you're critiquing Tesla. You're saying XXX about Tesla. How about we hold them to the same standard? So this is what Kevin here is doing. Kevin notes that Ford's net EV income is minus 40%, and its projected net EV income was also negative. The Twitter user complimented Elon Musk and the Tesla team for achieving a positive net margin. He's right. He said, holy shit, Ford, the company that's supposed to take on Tesla, just revealed their net margin on electric vehicles. Ford net EV income today, negative 40%. Ford projected net EV income, negative 20%. Tesla today's net margin, 11.4%. Okay, Kevin, you're right. And Kevin is doubly right because the media are focusing, they're saying Tesla's margins are falling, they're crashing, they're terrible. The sky is falling in. Dump your Tesla stock. Tesla's going to hell in a handcart. They are doing this. I've seen it and I'm not even looking for it. It's everywhere. So Kevin, I understand where you're coming from. However, Musk takes the high road here. And I got to say, kudos to him for doing this. Always tough with margins for new vehicle lines, he said, especially when there are major technology shifts. I think Ford's overall strategy with EVs is smart. The electric F-150 Lightning has high demand. You can read into that if you like. I don't think there's anything to read into, other than Ford is saying, you know what, you're getting kicked around here, I support you. I think you're doing the right thing. You're trying to move to EVs. Yeah, sure, you were late to the party. You should have probably seen what was happening years ago. But anyway, you're doing the best thing you can now. And I think one of the key things that Musk is talking about here is this. Ford are focusing on profitability. It's focusing on moving away its engineers, its talent from Asia and Europe, and focusing on where it makes money, which is North America. But in addition to that, it's focusing on batteries. It's planning to use lithium iron phosphate batteries, but not only to use lithium iron phosphate batteries, but to manufacture them itself in the United States. GM is not doing that. In fact, there are no other companies doing that. Tesla plans to build an LFP factory. That's the rumor we're hearing. I believe that will happen. In the US, they plan on doing that. However, we haven't confirmed that for sure. I believe Elon actually genuinely believes this, but I mean, he could pile on to Ford. He could say, yeah, Kevin, you're right. Look at Ford's margins on EVs. They suck. They're horrendous. They're losing $722 million US dollars per quarter. That's more than $1 billion Australian dollars per quarter. But he didn't. Kudos to him for that. And I think that's because he believes Ford are headed in the right track. Ford announced a new $1.5 to $2 billion restructuring plan to reach EV profitability at some point in the future. And Ford plans to exit unprofitable locations, cut its headcount, and establish a new staffing structure to reduce costs and increase output as part of its restructuring efforts. Always tough with margins for new vehicle lines. I think Ford's overall strategy with EVs is smart. Now, we always critique Elon Musk. It's become the popular thing to do. It's like everyone's going to the popular party. The popular party is to critique anything that Elon says, to look at it in a negative light. I reckon we can be above that. We can be better than that. Let's be better. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.